Okay, man. Here, let's get ready for a confusing Giallo. Here we go.
Is it just me? Or is it getting crazier out there?
The Red Queen kills 6 times. No, we'll talk about it. Anyways, whatever. In this movie. But hello, everybody. Welcome to Late Horror Show. I am Dino, and that is Ginger. What's going on?
Hi, everybody.
Hi, it's Giallo time. Yeah, we're going to talk about the Red Queen kills 7 times, or the Lady in Red kills 7 times, or Blood Fest, or Feast of Flesh. I mean, there was multiple names for this film.
Why do they always do that with these Giallos? There's always like 15 different.
The script always goes with a stupid name, and then it evolves, and then it went to the Lady in Red kills, and then they go, oh wait, this Red Queen kills. So and then it eventually settled on the Red Queen kills 7 times, which is a much better title from 1972. And it is directed by Emilio Miraglia and written by Fabio Pittoru. And it stars Barbara Boucher. And, we'll get to these people, these cast, this cast, because, man, Ginger, there's Mike Barrett. There he is. I knew you would say, say confusing. Listen. This was a confusing movie at points. Not that I didn't figure it out, but throughout, it kind of, all the women looked the same. And even some of the men dressed the same. Listen, I think it was his idea to kind of do this. And it was kind of, some people would say it was brilliant. Some people would say, And then the way it ends, I don't want to give nothing away yet, but the way it ends, people are go, oh boy, so you're going to have it end that way. It's kind of an easy escape out of the whodunit, because this is a whodunit all the way. This is a Giallo great. Listen, Ginger, I don't think liked it as much as I did, but I love this movie.
I can tell.
I love this movie. And Kitty Wildenbrook, and we'll get into the characters here in a second.
Are you going to say hi to our friends? You didn't even say hi to any of our friends.
There's people watching? Look at the Christmas tree behind Ginger. We wish her a jolly Christmas. We wish her a jolly Christmas. Hello, everybody in the chat. Hey, Mike Barrett, what's going on? RTN. Hi, Boy Donuts to you and Low Girl Coffee. Coffee Shop of Horrors, Chocolate Mint, Connie Cleary, what is going on? Good to see you. Black Roses, Julie Osborne, Frank McLeod is here. Rich Cat Ranch.
Wait, Frank what? Who? Frank who? Frank? Who's Frank?
Columbo? Is Columbo here? McLeod. Wouldn't be a Giallo film without at least a couple moments. True, this is a little different. Connie Cleary, CM, what is going on? Good to see you. Good to have everybody in the chat. I think I said everybody.
Okay, enough comments about my Christmas tree. All right, I know it's bright, I know it's cheesy, but this
holy Christmas tree, Batman.
That's the way it shows up on camera. It's not really well defined on camera. And also, I want it on the record that I did not order the white tree. I've had this tree for 10 years. I did not order the white tree. I ordered the green one, and this is what came. And by then I was like, whatever. And now it's kind of grown on me, my cheesy white tree. I like it.
It's not that, no, it looks nice.
It just looks super bright on camera. It's not that bright.
Very festive. Well, that's the way lighting goes on cameras, especially webcam.
Okay, everybody, I know I have a really bright tree.
Yeah, something's bright on that camera. J.O.B. What's going on there, my friend? Peter Wernicki. Hey, what's going on? It's not cheesy. I like it. There
Thank
you go.
you. I like it too. I was talking to our friend RTN,
Yes.
Mr. Dennis. I was talking to him last night about Christmas decorations, and I said,
no.
If you like your Christmas decorations, that's beautiful. I don't care what they look like. I have cheesy wait till you see the lights I have on my balcony. They're the old-fashioned, big, huge bulbs that are like that big. But I love it. It's cheesy, and I love it.
That's all right.
And if that's what makes you happy, then
yeah, cheese is great. Cheese is fantastic.
It's marvelous. Cheese is marvelous.
Yeah. And there's a wiggly 70s looking pillow over there. It looks so Giallo.
Oh,
yeah.
That's the thing I had to like Christmas stuff for my sofa. I got that. It came free with something that I bought at Pottery Barn.
Okay. Okay, so let's get to this Italian Giallo.
Let's talk about the rest of my decorating, Dino.
Even though it was filmed, you're trying to avoid this movie, and it's so ridiculous because it was out of everything we've been watching over these months.
This stank the worst.
No, you're wrong. There's something wrong with you. This is a whodunit, and they get you going throughout this entire film. Who the hell is the killer? And throughout the film, there is that red cloaked, Little Red Riding Hood. Yeah, the Red Queen, who looks like it has dark hair, has the cloak.
But you're right. All the women looked alike. That just registered in my head. You get them mixed up because they all look alike. Listen, and then again, this is one of those stupid Giallo movies that has like 25 characters. Like, we don't need to know all their names. Why do we need to know all these people's names?
Oh, listen, and that's
like, is that Rosemary? No, that's Lulu. No, that was Lulu. This is Rosemary.
Listen, Kitty, Francisca, Rosemary, Lulu. Listen, these women all look, and he did it on purpose.
They're all lovely. They're all lovely.
Oh, they're all beautiful.
Yes.
Listen, Kitty. Let's talk about the characters.
Let's talk about Kitty, Dino.
Dino's room, dark as heck. Ginger's room, bright and shiny. Yeah, contrast. That's what it's called there. Changing the title multiple times didn't improve.
Oh, Mike Barrett's already upset. This is going to be a good one.
What do you get when you mix a Christmas tree and an apple, a pineapple? Wild ginger, no. Yeah, no, I can't. Listen, I put this up there as one of the better Giallos I've seen from the 70s.
But isn't that what you always do? Isn't that what you always do?
From the 70s. No. Listen, I think half of the Giallo films that we've done have gotten either a 5 out of 10, which is average. So listen, I'm right there with you on most of these. Okay.
Okay, well, this is what it's all about, baby. We have a difference of opinion.
You smack that left and right, girl. So here,
what?
I don't know. I'm just saying. So listen, the characters we've got, and you know what? I'm going to go straight to the page here because I want to get this right. We got Kitty Wildenbrook, who is one of the. Oh wait, what this is all about? Okay, do you want to?
When this movie started, I thought they were in Italy. It kind of looked like Italy, but then they make it very clear later that it's Germany.
Right. It was shot in Germany, and they even shot the building from another movie. Oh, did I write it down? Oh boy. That
same castle?
Yeah.
It don't matter. Just let's proceed.
Apartment complex. It doesn't matter. Anyways, so we will talk about the lore in the 100 years and the needing to the needing to kill 7 victims. Listen, there's a centuries old not legend, but a centuries old curse or whatever.
It's a curse. They call it a curse. Yes.
Yes, it's a curse. It's a curse on this family and castle where every 100 years there's the Red Queen who's got the dark hair and the other sister who's got the blonde hair. Mm-hmm. And it's 2 sisters. I mean, thank God there were.
And then a third one shows up. Like, were you prepared for the third sister?
No, that plays a part in the end of our discussion, or at least middle. But listen, Jesus Christ.
Oh, well, Dino,
no,
you have to mention the characters,
no, I'm sorry.
so don't you
Ginger.
get mad at me, sir.
No, you're right. You're right.
I know I'm right.
I got confused on
Yes, you did.
The mix up at the end that we find out about this Evelyn. But anyway, but yes, there is a third sister, Francesca.
Let me write this down. I'm writing this down.
Okay, so there's a centuries-old curse, and thank God there's two sisters always during the 100 years. Hey, there's another two sisters. Perfect.
How convenient, yes, that there's always two sisters. And one's dark and one's fair.
Exactly. So it's a little odd that
because
happened.
the way. Okay, we'll talk about the painting real quick.
Yes.
The way that they portray this whole legend is that there's always two sisters. One is dark and one is fair. Even in the painting from the original incident, one is dark and one is fair. But the way that they explain in this generation how one is dark and one is fair, is that the same situation from the original painting? That's how they were actually sisters? Well, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, technically, yeah.
What? So they adopted a little girl?
I'm
saying if the legend is always like that, why is one sister always dark-haired and one is always fair? That's the way it was in the original painting, and that's the way it is in this generation. So why? How?
You tell me, and then we'll both understand, lady.
Okay.
Listen, who's here? Spider-Man has entered the building. Oh my God, Spider-Man, you're here to save us all.
I hope it's the Spider-Man from the 60s. He's my favorite.
Okay, moving on. Who was CJM753BC? Hey everyone, good to see you. Yeah, it's good to have all of you, and you're chanting up a storm in the chat. Slow down, I can't even say. Oh my God, curse you, Red Queen. Barbara Boucher, yeah. Italian Spider-Man, that's right. So yeah, somehow there's this curse, and that's where we're at in this movie, where it opens.
Well, you didn't even get through all the characters. Even the men, you get the men confused. Like, is that Herbert or who's the other guy? Was Herbert or Martin?
I think the director, Emilio Miraglia, I think he did a great job for his only two entrances into the Giallo genre in Italian cinema. It's that one and the other movie we're going to be doing a little in about a week and a half.
Are we doing that?
Yes. The night Evelyn came out of the grave. It's his other movie. It's going to be fantastic. I can't wait to talk about it. Ginger loves it. She begged me to do that film. She said, after this one,
I was like, please God, no. Please God, no.
Can we please do it? But okay, so we have Kitty Wildenbrook and the other sister, Evelyn, who's the dark-haired one.
And then they have their grandfather.
Yes, their grandfather is Tobias Wildenbrook. Tobias. And he's in a wheelchair, and he's got these two brats.
He doesn't hang around for long, though.
No, he doesn't.
He's not long for this world.
Evelyn's a little bratty one, and the blonde hair girl, and she keeps teasing.
She's terrible, and this is what I said that it reminded me of. This reminds me of Alice, Sweet Alice.
Little bit, bratty sisters.
It's the two sisters. The one sister, she's worse than bratty. She's evil.
Well, yeah. I mean, listen.
So that reminds me of Alice, Sweet Alice.
She's supposed to be, because of the lore, which we'll find out things are a little bit different.
The lore.
It ends up a little bit different in the end. But Evelyn is supposed to be evil, and she's supposed to kill 6 victims, and then kill the 7th victim. Is supposed to be the fair maiden sister,
yes,
who gets killed. Thus 7. Thus going on to
and then in another 100 years it happens again.
Yes. But those are just two sisters, and then we got the other sister who must have
just shows up out of nowhere.
Well, she must have been born a lot earlier, and she's Francesca Wildenbrook, and she's married to this guy named Herbert,
who has a club foot.
Hold on. Not only does he have a clubbed foot, I wanted to find a picture to post it. He not only has a clubbed foot, and listen, Francesca is a beautiful
Oh,
blonde
she's
hair.
lovely. Yes.
Uh,
Maybe he's
oh,
rich. Maybe the point is she's young and beautiful and he's rich. Is he rich?
money has nothing to do with it because all of the daughters are set to gain a
That's
fortune
true. That's true.
from the grandfather when he,
That's true.
croaks it. So why she's with this Herman? I mean, he could be a great guy, and she just
This
loves
is your
him.
movie that is so great. It's so inventive, and he thinks of these really unique ideas. And wow, what a movie!
Yes, fantastic. I'm giving A+. And these are the things that make it interesting. See, open up your mind, lady. The fact that this beautiful Francesca has this husband, Herbert, who has a club foot, and she's beautiful, has this club foot, has this black dyed hair that's
All the hair in
parted,
this movie was terrible.
all
All
of
the
the
hair in
hair.
this movie was, even the women and the men. This movie was. I
No, the
wrote it
women had
down
great hair.
somewhere. This is a
The
movie
women
full
had
of
great hair.
terrible hair.
The women
Where did I
had
write
great hair. The men had
The women had hair that didn't even look real. I'm like, what color is your hair? Is that a wig? Or all their hair was terrible. It was terrible.
Well, I think, yes, Sybil Danning is also in it, of course. I didn't get to the other characters yet, Mike Barrett. Give me time. Give me time. But listen, this movie revolves around fashion.
Yes, like
Italy was the mecca of fashion in the 70s.
yes.
So that's
Even though
why a
this
lot
movie
of
was filmed in Germany, but it was a photo shoot, I guess.
Well, listen, Europe in general, it was all about fashion during the 70s. So the Italian directors would put a lot of fashion in, and it kind of revolved around this fashion house
It was the weird guy,
and
Pete.
models.
Peter, this weirdo Peter, he just shows up. Pete.
Oh, yes, Peter,
The weird
Pumpkin
guy.
Eater. Yeah, there's another character. But Herbert, he's got this black plastered on hair. He's weird looking. I don't know what the frick
They're
that was
all
all about.
weird. Come on. Even the women, their hair is like, what are you doing? What is this? What am I looking at?
Well, listen, the other main character, the a-hole, Martin Hoffman, he's the main male character in the
He's a
film.
playboy. He's quite a playboy.
Played by Ugo Pagliari. He listen, when he showed up in that robe later on in the movie,
The shortest robe ever worn by a man on planet Earth.
yes,
Did you ever see that episode of New Girl when Schmidt comes out wearing his kimono and it barely covers up his junk?
Yes.
This is what that reminded me of.
But when he showed up in that robe, and in his apartment, and all of the wallpaper was just so out there, white with these lines of. I know it was the 70s.
It was the 70s. They were groovy. I mean, that was groovy stuff.
Yeah, that was groovy, all right. But listen,
like the height of mod, like they knew what was in style. I mean,
yeah, listen, the lamps were fantastic. I loved the lamps. Everything about this movie flashed style.
And 70s, the clothes the women wore, I was like, oh, that is a fabulous outfit. You know, like you never saw the women wear the same thing twice. It was a new fabulous outfit every scene. Just
all the women wore great outfits. All the women were beautiful.
That first woman that we first see who gets out of bed in the middle of the night and she's wearing that black thing with her whole back. I was like, that is gorgeous. Who wears that to bed? It was beautiful.
My God. Everyone should wear that to bed. Not men. But I bought a bag of popcorn thinking there were smaller bags inside. Nope, I have to eat all since I
wow, what a problem to have. That's a problem I would like to have. You have to eat all that popcorn.
But listen,
GoFundMe. We're going to start a GoFundMe for J.O.B.
Okay, so getting to Martin Hoffman, this male character who is kind of like the boyfriend to Kitty, although
she is his mistress because he's actually married.
He's married,
and his wife is in a.
She's schizophrenic. We find out
her name's Elizabeth.
Yes, her name's Elizabeth, and she's in a hospital. And he goes to visit her every once in a while and he pets her hair. He goes, oh, everything.
And she says, don't touch me. She doesn't like him.
Oh no, she's that type. And we come to find out that she's got some kind of relationship going, and she's talking to Evelyn, the sister who's supposed to be dead.
But nobody believes her because they think she's crazy. I mean, she's in the loony bin. They think, oh yeah, okay, Evelyn comes and see. Evelyn's been dead for a year. Okay, Evelyn comes to see you.
Groovy mod was the 1960s. The 1970s was disco. Tokar, hello, welcome. Yes. That is true. Italy kind of, in this film, we get a lot of groovy mod type, like lamps and fixtures and stuff like that. So maybe a little bit of a carryover. It was a transitional period, Tokar. But yes. So listen, he's the boyfriend, whatever. He's doing his thing with Kitty. And listen, his hair.
But someone else wants him. Oh, his hair was fabulous. He had the dry look. Do you know how I'm always trying to tell you what the dry look was in the 70s? He had the dry look.
Oh, it was so dry. If he combed it would fall out of his head. Ted
Danson in Cheers.
Yes.
The first season of Cheers. That's the dry look. And I kept trying to explain it to you, but this whole movie, all the hair was terrible.
Oh, listen, the men's hair. I don't know what the hell was going on with it, but it was crazy. But nevertheless, I looked at him, and again, I usually watch these movies with my daughter because she loves the classic horror, and she was laughing up a storm. She's like, what is she doing with him? Oh my God, look at his hair, look at his robe, look at this guy, look at him. So yeah.
Well, she got him out of that robe pretty darn quick, so.
Is this the same movie or The Night Evelyn Came from the Grave? No, this is what? Black, I am lost. You're lost? We're jumping a little bit. Listen, we're going to get back on track, but we're jumping all over the place. We're getting the characters out of the way. Then we got these two redheads. We got Rosemary. Is that what
they are? Okay, I wouldn't have.
I guess. Are they blonde? Blonde
I have
or redhead?
No idea. They had hair. That's all I can tell you.
They look like redheads, but it was.
They look like Barbie dolls. Their hair's like fake, like it's like a Barbie doll's hair.
Yes, they do. Even Kitty and Francesca's.
Their hair is terrible.
Well, he probably dyed a lot of the hairs in there. Listen, we've gone on like for 15 minutes on hair. But it plays a big part.
The only time Rosemary's hair looks good is at the very end when it's not all whatever, it's just straight. You don't even know it's her because they all look alike.
You said the woman in the mental ward was talking to Evelyn. No, Elizabeth. If I said that was my mistake.
The woman in the mental ward was talking to Evelyn. The woman in the mental ward's name is Elizabeth, but she was talking to Evelyn.
Oh, yeah. This is Black Roses. You're right. Evelyn is the sister to Kitty.
Who died. She's the dead queen.
Yeah. So thanks for confusing me, man. Jeez. As if I'm not confused.
Dino, do you want to tell them why you're kind of scattered tonight because you don't have all your accoutrement? Oh, Dino's missing something.
Oh no, we don't need to talk about that. No, I'm missing stuff that this is just coming off top of my head now, and I've got some notes, but I don't have the other things that I use to reference certain material as we're talking about the movie.
So that's all I'm trying to say. You're welcome.
Yes, thank you, Ginger. But I'm just being scatterbrained because not scatterbrained. I'm just going all over the place because there's a lot to talk about.
Because that's what kind of movie this is. It doesn't matter. We can talk about anything.
Thus, the discussion is going the way the movie goes, all over the place, but
with a lot of unanswered questions.
In a good way. I loved it. Listen, the redhead's Rosemary was the one that was, for some reason, her and Lulu, they were the two models, and they would, they would be there like always just talking, sitting there naked most of the time.
But they were models, and that's just, apparently
but
that's just a thing.
It's funny that Rosemary, a beautiful woman, just had the hots for Martin too, and was so upset.
I think that was more like a spite thing. She just did that for spite. She didn't really want. She wanted him because she knew that Kitty was with him.
Well,
That's
right,
the one.
right. It
She
was
didn't
a
really want it. It was
ruse.
just like, well, it was like that movie, Sex, Lies, and Videotape when she slept with her sister's
Nice.
husband.
Nice.
Anyway.
Oh, anyways, yeah. James Spader, right? Yep.
Yes, and Andy
Oh,
McDowell at her
yes,
Andy
yeah.
McDowell list.
Naked models, cool. Oh yeah, you better believe it, Black Roses. Oh.
And Peter Gallagher at his Peter Gallagherist.
Oh, really? Oh.
Yes.
That lends to okay, yeah. So let's get going. I think that's most of the people. There is Peter
There's
who keeps coming.
Leonora. Who's Leonora? Another model. There's Leonora.
Yeah, listen, there's a group of
We don't
models
need to
that
know all these people. We don't.
no, there's a group of models that all look exactly alike. Rosemary and Lulu,
Mm. And
they
what was
all
the
look
other
alike.
movie that we did that was a modeling school, or like it happened at a fashion house? A
Blood and
fashion
Black
house.
Lace. Yeah.
They're all the
Let's
same to me.
no, there's a lot of there's a lot of them. Listen, Italian did a lot of fashion
Yes.
in their movies and stuff. And so we're talking about this movie, so let's continue. The castle, it kind of had a tinge of gothic,
The
vibe
castles, the
to it.
old castle, and they're down in the wet, dank cellar down there, like very
Dank,
creepy.
dank.
It was
Okay.
dank.
But Peter is kind of the one that keeps coming up to Kitty because he used to be Evelyn's
Oh, Peter,
kind of
yeah.
boyfriend or
Do they
whatever.
say that? They don't say that.
They don't say that, but for some reason he's going like he's Igor, I know Evelyn's not
Oh, and
dead. Where is she?
there's a very casual sexual assault in this movie that I don't understand why these Giallo movies always have to have a rape. Why?
I know.
And then they're so
We'll
casual
talk
about it
about that.
afterwards, like, oh, well, those things happen. And I'm like, she's
No, I
just
know.
going on with her life like nothing happened.
I know. And we'll
Why?
talk about that when we
Yeah.
get to it. Hey, Harry Scott, what's going on? So Peter is, supposedly has some kind of connection. And he keeps going after Kitty, saying because they said the
She went to
family
America. She went to America.
family has said that Evelyn has gone to America. Yes, and
but the two
Peter's not.
sisters tell you that they know that Evelyn is dead. They tell you very early. They both know Evelyn is dead, and they even go down in the dank cellar to look for her.
Yes, so let's get that out of the way. Yes, we find out that yes, there is a body of someone who is, I guess, Evelyn down
And
in the cellar.
conveniently, right next to her is a red cloak.
Yeah, to confuse you, but her body is just like sitting in this closet or something. It's really weird.
Well, they're in a castle, so picture that. If you haven't seen this movie, they're in a castle and they're down in the dungeon basically of the castle, so the walls are wet and slick, and I think there were slugs on the walls or
Oh no,
leeches on the walls.
don't say that.
And there were rats everywhere and bats flying. It was like the most horrifying you could possibly imagine because it was under some ancient castle.
Did they get the plague?
They did not, but it was possible because at the end of the movie, there's rats and water.
Okay, Shush. Hey, Joe Sergeant Prima. What's going on, Joe? Hello, horror fans. Good to see you, horror fan. Misogyny. Yes, listen, and we'll talk about it when we get to that.
So.
It really all it lended to was kind of a perverted scene with Kitty showing because listen. In the scene, she looked very pretty and she was very revealing with her. Boy,
she was trying to cover up though because he was gazing at her in a very creepy way. So she was trying to cover. Yeah. It didn't matter if she covered up or not. He already knew what he was going to do. It didn't matter what she did.
Well, I don't think he knew he was going to do that until he started. Anyways, we'll get to that. So we start off with the movie with this weird. With the score. The score is awesome, I think, in this movie too, and it starts like any other Italian Giallo film with a wonderful score of these two little girls running around the front of the castle and ha la la.
And just like in Alice, Sweet Alice, the one sister takes the other sister's little doll.
Yes,
and you see that they're at a beautiful castle, and I found the castle too. by the way. I had to
thank
look for where that
God.
castle is.
Where's the castle?
I did not write it down.
Oh, that's terrible. So all that, research
I
just
do that for me
nothing.
because I know you don't care about stuff like that. So I did that for me.
I would love to know where the castle is
The
at.
castle had a moat, and that moat comes into the picture a little later on.
Oh, that's nice.
So
Do
one of
they
the little
pull off
girls,
over?
I didn't even realize they were sisters. The one little girl has very dark hair and black eyes, and her name's Evelyn. And the fair-haired, blue-eyed girl's name is Kitty, and Kitty's playing with a doll. And then they both go inside, and you find out that they are actually sisters because they go in to see their grandpa, who's in a wheelchair, and he's in a blanket, and the girls are like 6 years old, and he decides that they're old enough to learn the legend of this terrible, terrible thing that happened. Yeah. And
because,
the little girl, tell him about the little girl stabbing.
Right. And hello, John Capaciti. What is going on? A nice to see you, Ginger. He loves your tree. So there you go. But yes, she's teasing Kitty. It's just one of those scenes. The entire 5 minutes, they're running around, and there's scenes going from scenes. And I watched the version on YouTube, just so you know, that has the dubbed version.
Where else would you watch it? I mean, the first place I always check is YouTube, and if it's not on there, I look at other things. But it was on YouTube, so what other version is there?
Well, there's the true Italian version if you go out there
with subtitles.
Yes.
But Dino, anyway, one of the things about Giallo movies is the terrible dubbing.
That's right. Which why I would never watch a Giallo film if it wasn't dubbed. So, but the YouTube, if you watch it, Evelyn's voice, she's a 6-year-old girl, and it comes out like almost like a 16-year-old with a deep voice.
She's evil. Because she's evil, so she has that deeper voice. That's why.
Listen, the voice of Evelyn, it was so unreal. And when I was watching it, I was almost laughing, going, "Oh my God, that is such a deep voice." And you could tell it's from somebody who's like 16 or something like that, or even older.
Pretending to be a little girl, yeah.
Yes. "Hi, I'm a little girl. Yes, I'm Evelyn, and I'm taking your doll, and I'm going to stab it." But she kept teasing her throughout the whole run up to the castle, and then eventually takes the doll and stabs it with a dagger.
A dagger. And where did the dagger come from? I didn't see her pick up a dagger. Where did it come from?
I don't know, but it was the same dagger
that the Red Queen had
on the wall in the picture.
Yes.
Same exact one. And it even glows a little bit for a second.
But they do not tell us where it came from. Where did it come from? Did she just have it on her person? Was there a drawer in that buffet thing? Where did it come from?
No, where did kids? She went in a drawer.
Isn't that kind of important? They're two little girls, and she pulls out a dagger and stabs a doll. Like, where did she get the dagger?
There's knives, hatchets, axes, weapons all around that kids can get to, but you don't expect a kid to grab an axe.
And then they just go on and have a little conversation. Now you guys go back outside and play. I'm like,
well, yeah, no, the girl would be
a doll with a dagger, and you're just going to tell them a little story and then send them back outside. Like,
you're asking a grandfather who's in a wheelchair, who can barely do anything, who evidently has control over these two girls and no parents, to take care of the situation? No, the guy told a story. I know what'll help. I'll tell a little story.
And he said they're old enough to hear this terrible, gory, like disturbing story. I'm like, you really think that they're old enough to hear this story?
Well, no. And for the girls to find out that, hey, this lore or story mentions that you two are going to grow up and Evelyn's
and he tells them the year. He says in 1972.
Well, you know what? There's something that they change up to, I think, to later in the film. Do we even talk about it now? It's kind of a spoiler for the ending towards the end. Is Evelyn? Remember? Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
So we shouldn't say that yet, though, right? No.
Were you listening to me talking? Is my mic working? Were you listening to me talking right now?
No. Were you
You
saying
just
something?
brought that up. I mean, that's such a Ginger thing. What the heck, Dino? Don't let me rub off on you. You just bring up stuff like, remember I was just a little while ago telling you about my brother-in-law, how he talks about stuff that happened 10 minutes ago.
Okay, so listen, we'll talk about that in a little bit. But listen, is Evelyn or what's going on? How else do you sit there and go, how's the old guy telling these two sisters, hey, you're going to end up killing? It's weird.
He didn't say that they were going to end up doing that. He didn't say that.
No, but tell you the story.
Wait a minute.
What?
No, okay. Because I was going to say, are you saying that he knew that Evelyn was going to end up trying to kill Kitty, but he had to know that wasn't going to happen because that's why he got Evelyn?
No, listen,
right?
it's 100 years later. He has to know that it's time.
Mm-hmm. It's going to be these girls.
Yes, these two sisters are going to be the two that are going to be the ones to the Red Queen trying to kill the Fair Maiden.
But he gets Evelyn to break the curse. So what?
Okay, I'm spoiling it. It's 8:35.
Why is he concerned about it? He gets Evelyn to break the curse. So why would that even be a concern? As far as he's concerned, the problem is solved.
Oh, because he gets Evelyn, who really isn't
a sister.
A sister, because okay, so here's the thing, and this doesn't give away the end of the movie. We're not saying this who the killer or nothing is. Throughout the whole movie, you think it's Evelyn, but you kind of also
I didn't think it was Evelyn because Evelyn's supposed to be dead.
Right. Every single person in the film, they give a reason to be the killer.
Yes.
But I guess at birth or whatever, I don't know. They get Evelyn, who isn't really the sister.
They exchange her.
They exchange her and send the real sister off so that this evil deed would not be done. It would not be foretold.
And yet they ended up
two peasants is what they said.
And yet they ended up knowing each other. How did they know each other?
Who?
How did Evelyn and Rosemary end up together? How did they end up knowing each other?
Oh,
because basically, what is it? It's like Francesca has gathered all these people together to conspire with her. Is that what happened?
Yeah, listen, I don't know. I'm getting confused. Take a drink every time Dino says listen.
Okay.
Listen. One more time. Listen. Oh, I need another drink. Umberto Lenzi, Spider-Man. What would you bring up? Other people there. Okay, so I'm not sure. Let's just continue on with the storyline. Okay, so at this point,
let me bring us back. Can I bring us back with my summary?
Bring us back.
First of all, this movie was an hour and 39 minutes. An hour and 39 minutes, which is a great length.
Perfect.
It's perfect. Any longer than that, and I'd be like, oh God. Any shorter than that, and I'd be like, So it was good. The little girl outside of the castle. Another little girl comes. Evelyn takes the doll. The grandfather is in a wheelchair. I'm the Red Queen. The little girl, when she's stabbing the doll, she looks at the painting and she hears the Red Queen say, "I'm the Red Queen. I'm killing you, the Black Queen." Like, okay,
you're taking us back.
And she says, "The painting makes me go all funny inside."
Ooh, spiritual. So why would she be feeling that if she's not even the real daughter? She's not even.
Exactly.
Okay.
It makes me go all funny. Well, why? That's the whole reason he got her, was so that it wouldn't be the two sisters together.
Well, somehow the spirit got her. I don't know.
So he tells him it's going to be 1972, and he tells him to take the painting down. And he sends the girls back outside like nothing happened. And then they cut to 14 years later, and the grandfather, this woman comes up, and do we know who that woman is? I don't know who she was. She turns out to be Francesca, another sister. The grandfather, the person in the red cape comes into the grandfather's bedroom while he's sleeping at night, and he has a heart attack and dies.
Yes, he does. The Red Queen scares him to death, And he goes, what is that?
And so now we have to deal with the will. And there's a condition.
What's with all the names? I don't know what you're just throwing out names. I don't know who Duccio Casari is. I don't think he has anything to do with this film. Francesco Barilli. Continue. Let me see. Francesco. Continue, Ginger.
So the grandfather has a heart attack. He sees what looks like, they were just talking about the Red Queen, and he sees someone come into his bedroom at night, and it looks like the Red Queen. She's got the red cape on, and she doesn't touch him. He has a heart attack and dies.
Oh, are you guys just saying names?
Then we flash back, and it shows you that the two sisters, Evelyn, the dark-haired one, and Kitty, the blonde-haired one, had some kind of a fight, and Evelyn hit her head and fell into the moat. Yes, it was very much a cat fight.
It was a cat fight.
So Evelyn, the dark-haired one, who was supposed to be the Red Queen and the one that was supposed to do the murdering, she ends up dead in the moat.
Sergio Martino. Okay, well, what's going on? These are Giallo directors, Spider-Man. I know what's going on. Spider-Man. Everybody keep an eye. If conversation doesn't sway into a different direction, this isn't about name that Italian Giallo director. How many can you name in this stream? I appreciate it. Sergio Martino is he's done some good films, but let's
Kitty has a photography studio.
Yes,
and this is when they say Evelyn's in America, and I'm like, is she in America or is she dead? We were learning that Francesca is the third sister, and this is when the creepy guy comes and he blackmails Kitty because he says, I know Evelyn's alive. I know she's not in America. Where is she?
Right.
And so he takes a bunch of her money.
Yes, he does. Wait. That's
that's the later one. This is the first time.
Yeah.
And then the one girl says to Martin, how's your wife like it in the nut house, Martin? And I'm like, what? Who's the wife? Because we haven't heard about the wife yet. I thought Kitty was his wife because they were together.
Well, right. They didn't really mention that up until then. And then we find out that Elizabeth, his wife, is in the insane asylum, and the doctor walks.
And so who's Hans? There's a Hans in this movie. And the dark-haired woman in the red cape stabs this Hans dude and runs away laughing, and she's got that stupid laugh. Stupid. What's so funny? What is she laughing at?
Hans but you are quickly going through this movie. We got to slow it down. Listen.
No, we don't. You always say that, and at the end we have to really, 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 really go fast.
Hans is the officer that was standing at the like in the park area there. Is that the one you're talking about? Like just runs out from nowhere and stabs him and then just takes off. And yes, the character that's running around has the black hair and is always doing, the voice, of a character, a female trying to sound like Evelyn. And
so there's a police investigation, of course, because this is a Giallo movie and there always has to be a police investigation.
Okay, I'll just say this. In Spider-Man, if you're new here, I get aggravated very easily.
Dino has a moment. Every show, Dino has a moment. And I think there's one coming.
Listen, I would love Spider-Man to be part of the chat and part of the discussion. But listen, if you continue to just do names of directors and you've got nothing to say and you're not enjoying the stream, then you will be blocked. I'd love you to enjoy it, Spider-Man. So please, if I'm missing something, you guys tell me. Like an Italian name, Hans doesn't sound like an Italian. No, I think I've got this one right on German. Anyways,
there's no one in this movie who has an Italian name because it's in Germany. They even talk about in this scene, there are prostitutes in the park, and they say it's who is it? It's the guy with the club foot and his wife.
Herbert and Francesca.
And they're looking for a third, wink, wink, in the park where the prostitutes hang out. And she says they pick out a girl. The wife picks out a girl, and she
they're
offers
in the car. They're in the car, Ginger.
1,000 marks, and that's when you know they're in Germany.
In fairness, he said last name before you said not to. Well, yeah, no, listen. See?
Thank you, Julie. Julie just wants to keep the peace. Thank you, Julie.
Yes. Again, and please enjoy a thumbs up, 49 thumbs up. Keep it going. I think you're just missing Spider-Man being deliberately. No, that's my point. Discussion for chat is discussion.
Well, that's what we have moderators for.
Yeah, that's what I like. So anyways, moving on. Herbert and Francesca is in the car and in the park driving, and this is where she's talking. She goes, "Listen, we all know you're impotent.
I know.
So I guess the thing they do, and again, why their relationship doesn't make any sense. I don't get what's going on there. Because if you've seen images, which I wish I could have got, next time I'm going to do this, I should have got images of these characters.
Yeah, you should have, because it's getting really hard for me to picture all this stuff in my noggin.
Exactly. Exactly.
Oh yeah, no. It is. Here's where I wrote it down: a movie full of bad hair.
So yes, they approach this woman to be part of a threesome. So I guess that's their thing. Herbert and Francesca's thing is to grab a threesome every chance they can with the prostitutes from the park. At first I was going, what's with these prostitutes?
I'd be very interested to know what 1,000 marks in 1972 would be equivalent to today. 1,000 marks in 1972.
Oh, I have no idea. What would the equivalent
be today?
Yeah,
so you have to find out what 1,000 marks is in Germany right now, and that what that would be in dollars. It's a two-step process.
Anonymous just gave a thumbs up. Now I feel
then
clean.
In the next scene, Dino, there's dress forms. And remember, you never said this before. I don't think you agree with me, but always in these Giallo movies, there's dress forms or there's mannequins.
Yes.
So there's dress forms.
There are. Well, because there's fashion in a lot of these Italian giallos.
So then we get the police making police sketches of the killer, and this scene is so weird and stupid.
Oh, in the sketches, listen. Okay, I do got to say this. When they're all sitting in the room and they bring in all the people, Rosemary, Francesca, everybody's there to look at the sketch of who the murderer is. Yeah,
from the park. From the park. Mm-hmm.
But did you notice that the sketch that's up on the wall, it was not a pencil sketch or a pen sketch, or even it looked like a thick watercolor line sketch. It wasn't even a sketch. I'm like, this looks like something.
Are you saying it wasn't realistic, Dino? Is that what you're saying?
Exactly. I don't know. It was watercolor, like what kids do with their fingers. And they go like this. Like,
maybe that's the way they did it back then.
I seen that in a little kid's book.
So the sketches that they're looking at looks like Evelyn.
Yes.
And her sister Kitty looks at it and she's like, oh, yeah, that's Evelyn.
Yeah, I don't know how they got that.
Yeah, it could have been anybody.
There's a meteor coming through your door. Oh, that's the Christmas tree. Oh, jeez. Oh.
So then there's a phone message. Woo. Kitty goes home and she gets a phone message, just like in a Giallo movie. And it's, this is Evelyn. And so Kitty goes to the cellar because she wants to make sure Evelyn's corpse is still down there in the cellar.
Yes. Look at Connie Cleary looked it up. It's $537.37 US dollars. And Peter
to be a third in a threesome, I don't know what the going rate is, but
the internet says that 1,000 marks was about $500. Damn,
that's pretty good.
That's expensive.
That is expensive. That's a good deal for her.
Yeah, I remember back in the day when you can for a dime. The sailors would get off the ships and 5 at a time for a
fancy ones.
5 at a time for a dime. 5 at a time for a dime. Remember, Dino, no Christmas tree jokes. Oh no, that's not a joke. I thought there was a meteor coming through there. But anyways, it's lovely. I can't wait till you get the rest of the lights up. Any other lights going up, Ginger? You lighten up the couch by any chance? That would be nice.
So Evelyn is in a room. This is when we see Evelyn in the room, or what looks like Evelyn. What is that? Is it alive? Is it dead? Please tell me.
Or is it Memorex?
What is in that closet? It's supposed to be Evelyn. What is that? Is it
Evelyn? Are we
Evelyn?
back to the closet again?
With the red cape. And then we meet the weird guy, and I wonder if he's the killer. Then Leonora tells Kitty she thinks she knows who the Red Queen is, and somebody shuts her in the van, and they're driving around, and she's in the back of the van, and you don't see the person who's driving. They have black gloves on because it's a Giallo movie.
Oh, listen, take a drink. Listen, take a drink. Listen, take a drink. Listen, listen.
I'm gonna run out of beer.
I didn't notice how often I say listen. I'll have to get out of that habit. But listen,
now you have something else to be self-conscious about.
No. There you go again, Spider-Man. Marina Malfatti. You know what, guys? It's okay. Unless it gets excessive, just don't worry about it. It's fine. Spider-Man can have fun with all the names. But yes, this scene, this kill, which I think is the second or third. Second
or third, something like that. Whatever.
Yeah, somewhere around there. Listen, it ends up being 6 because they don't technically kill the 7th, which should have been Kitty. So only 6 were killed.
Wow, Dino, give away the whole end.
I'm Ginger. I'm giving away endings at the beginning of the show. We are halfway through. Oh no, it's 8:50, Ginger. Okay, so
he drives her in the van. He drives her to a field somewhere.
I love this scene. This is really cool.
Why?
Because it's just, are you a horror fan? Listen, I don't know. If you're a horror fan, unique and different kind of kills and stuff like that are really kind of cool for the movie. And when she goes up to Kitty and says,
you don't have to like low-key try to insult me because I disagree with you, Dino. Are you a horror fan? No, I'm not a horror fan. That's why I'm here, because I hate horror. Not a fan.
I'm joking. Here,
proceed.
I hit. Do I got anything that'll hurt me?
You wait till you get your Christmas gift from me. When you open up, it's gonna be snakes falling in your face. Remember those old tin cans you open it up and the snakes come flying out?
I'm going to. Oh yeah. No, I'm going to take the cat of 9 tails that I got later on, and I will punish.
Yeah, but you do that every night, so.
Giallo spaghetti. I'm confused about this one, I must say. Sorry, CM. I'm trying. It's me. If I'm too all over the place, I'm sorry. But I do love the movie, but I'm having fun just discussing it. But listen,
that's what we always do. Why don't you chill?
The woman goes up to Kitty and says, "I think I know who the killer is," and immediately goes outside
and gets in a van.
Yeah. And Evelyn, well, supposedly the red cloaked killer, who, by the way, got a little bit of inspiration from this film for the film that came after with Donald Sutherland that I've talked so much about, which is a great American Giallo film, Don't Look Now. The killer does run around with a red cloak in Don't Look Now, and just kind of a similarity there. And throughout this film,
we're talking about this other when Evelyn comes from the grave that you're going to make me watch.
Listen, so the Red Queen, when she's running around in this movie, you do get full-on glimpses, and you look, even the face, and you're like, but she's quickly running from place to place.
But they explain that away kind of at the end with like like a mask.
They do. Okay. But when she gets into this ambulance, the Red Queen locks it, gets in the driver's seat very quickly somehow, drives away. And they're
just driving all around this lovely little German town. They go around the roundabout, and they're just
she's not
driving.
And the girl in the back isn't even. She's screaming hysterically like she's already being murdered, and she's just being bounced around a little bit.
Yeah, but when there's been a murder and then you get shut into the back of a van and the van takes off and you're back there screaming and they just keep driving, I think I'd be kind of scared.
But wouldn't you, for like a few minutes, wouldn't you be like, Okay, how do I get out of here?
No, because she immediately was like, "Hey, let me out." And once you immediately say, "Hey, let me out," and they just keep driving, then you have to get louder. So
okay, so yeah, she ends up getting it. The Red Queen gets into unlocks the back and keep it score. Gets into the back and starts to stab the girl viciously over and over again, and it's a terrible scene.
And then she seems to pose her in a very suggestive way. I didn't.
Oh, you noticed that? Yes,
I did notice that.
Yes,
because it's all about humiliating the women, isn't it? It's a Giallo.
Oh, jeez.
True.
They're
not
a good proportion. Yes, I agree. But anyways, but yeah, that's the times they were different horror films. I don't know why they did that. I don't know. Women's
it was
movement.
Terrible acting. This scene was so bad. The acting was so terrible. That's what I wrote.
No.
Terrible acting. Yeah.
Listen, this movie had a charm about it that I loved and enjoyed. And the all over the place
she had a great personality.
The fact that they were trying to confuse you on who the drug, and they did it in a good way, irregardless
it's
of
a Giallo. They're supposed to be red herrings. It's a Giallo.
Yes, and irregardless if you say this, it just was really stupid. I think it was really put together well.
So then we meet Elizabeth, who's in the asylum. Martin goes to see her, and she tells him, "I see Evelyn. I talk to her. Evelyn comes to see me."
Yes.
And he's like, "Evelyn's not coming to see you. You're crazy. She's dead." And she's like, "No, she comes to see me."
She says, "Get away." And yes, listen, Elizabeth, who is Martin Hoffman's wife.
Black Roses, they post her like this. They post her like that.
You can give us a stick.
Remember the Black Dahlia? Remember the Black Dahlia? How she was?
Yeah, listen. Yeah, it's like this on the back with the legs wide open. I mean, plain and simple. But why? Who knows? But
yes, J.O.B. I always leave spaces between my notes in case something else comes up in that area and I want to write it in.
Yeah, perfect. What a great co-host you are there.
You're just mad because you forgot your stuff. Don't be mad at me because I came prepared and you forgot your stuff.
No, I'm good. I'm good. I remember this film, man.
So
this is
come
great.
on, because we're getting ready to get to the part with the short robe. He's wearing the little tiny short robe. And
okay, let's you take us there. Let's go. Come on.
Oh no, I need you to do that. Because it's just another, like, he's at the asylum to see his wife.
Well, I was going to get to the death of Elizabeth.
Why? That's not for a while.
Okay, then. Okay. So let's get to the next scene, which was a disturbing scene in many ways.
Dino doesn't like it when hot girls make out with ugly guys. Dino doesn't like it. He's like, that's not realistic.
That's not real, man. What the hell's going on there?
What fantasy world is this? That's what you said about The Fog, about Jamie Lee Curtis and what's his name with the bad dentures? Jamie Lee Curtis in The Fog with what's his name?
Oh, Tom Atkins. Yeah.
Yes. And you were like, this is a fantasy. This would never happen.
Oh, listen, I love Tom Atkins in films, but man.
Jamie Lee Curtis, though.
He looks like he was a boxer for 50 years. And anyways.
Craggy. It's called Craggy.
Okay. Craggy. So we're at Martin's apartment. Okay. Naked. We're at Martin's apartment. He's got this really 70s pad, you know.
Yes, it's so groovy. It's groovy.
It's groovy.
It's like space age with like space lamps and stuff.
I never seen nothing like it before in my life. The walls,
because you're not in Europe. Europe at that time was so groovy.
The walls were even curved, and it was I don't know. But what disturbed me the most was when Martin came out in his robe,
in his kimono,
that
was barely long enough to cover his junk.
Yeah, I mean, listen, the junk wasn't long enough to poke out. That's all I have to say. Unless, like most Italians over there in the 70s, he was wearing a Speedo. and it tucked it way up underneath properly. But it was a disturbing scene.
Whether or not size matters, that's a discussion for another night. Me and the girls will have a discussion about that some other time.
Oh, listen. Yeah, that's another discussion. Size really doesn't matter. Listen, it's the love making, baby. Anyways, so listen, he lights a cigarette. He's got this robe. It's the most disturbing robe a guy shouldn't.
He turns around, and when he turns back around, she's laying on the couch naked.
No, not yet. Listen, the robe in this scene is just as disturbing to me as in the 80s when guys would wear short jean shorts and half shirts. It's something
or football shirts. Remember the football shirts, the crop football shirts they'd wear with the cutoff jeans?
It's cold, Dino. There's that shrinkage thing. Yeah, shrinkage. Shrinkage. Do girls?
Maybe she doesn't know about shrinkage. She doesn't care about shrinkage. She does not care about shrinkage.
But anyways, guys should not be wearing half shirts. Even today, a guy take the whole shirt off. Don't wear half a shirt, man.
Has opinions about cropped shirts, fellas. Listen up.
Anyways, so Rosemary shows up there on the couch and she's like, seducing him and saying, "Listen, I love."
And how do we know it's Rosemary? Because she looks just like
yeah, it could have been any number of other
chick.
Models, but it was Rosemary. And because later on she's got a pendant around her neck.
Oh yes, the pendant around her neck. That does
Martin
come
notices
back.
and goes. There's a connection.
So then you see the loony wife. Here we go, Dino.
No, hold on.
Running through the woods.
I didn't get past the scene yet. Okay. She's sitting there seducing him, and he goes, "No, I don't want nothing to do with you. I know the time's it's 9 o'clock. We'll go over." So he walks away, and a split second he turns around, and the quickest taking off. What are you doing? The quickest.
He walks away. I was doing it. He walks away. He turned around. He
walked away. Here's me going to the telephone. He stops. He turns around. Oh, he's in shock. Oh, and he runs away. No, he doesn't.
Can you do the shadow puppet things? Can you do the shadow puppet things back there?
Listen, he turns around and sees her naked immediately on the couch.
Yes.
And
that couch just gave me the complete heebie-jeebies. Can you imagine all the body fluids that are on that velvet couch? Ugh.
Oh, God, listen, okay.
He's sitting there in that robe that is not long enough to cover his junk, and he's sitting on there. So what's between him and that sofa? Nothing.
Rosemary was the one with the good hair. Rosemary was the one with the good hair. LOL, says Peter Winicki. Well, they all had very similar. Okay, I get you. But he gets on the couch, and she persuaded him because she was naked. He turns around and he goes, "Oh, okay, I think you're right," and gets down there, and they perform. I'm sure the act there.
Oh, because she says that even though Kitty is his mistress, their life like between the sheets is like lacking, and she's like, "You can keep her for appearances, but you can keep me to have a good time."
Yes, because Kitty's going a little nuts over what's going on. People are getting killed. This whole curse on their family. So yes, and
so come on, we're gonna get to the scene that you were talking about when Elizabeth is out running in the woods, and we find what's really messed up is that her husband specifically told the orderlies at the hospital, "Can you please keep an eye on my wife because she's telling me that she's out at night on the grounds meeting someone named Evelyn who's been dead for a year. Can you keep an eye on her?" Next night, there she is out running in the woods.
Hey, Zach Cato, what's going on? Yeah, listen, and this is kind of an interesting scene because she does meet up with Evelyn in the woods.
Yes.
She
tells her to climb over the fence.
Yeah, she's got this rope.
She's got a rope ladder. Yes, a rope ladder. Very convenient. Very thoughtful.
Listen, I always carry one in my sack. I mean, I do. Because you never know when you need a rope ladder. In my back sack. Thank you, Black Roses. Don't be in a rush. I can watch Dino and Ginger all night. Nods.
So of course
when
you know that she's going to climb over that gate, you know something terrible is going to happen because
listen, Elizabeth tells Evelyn, so it has spikes at the top. Elizabeth tells Evelyn, she says, "Give me the knife, the dagger, or whatever." Don't ask me why she asked for it.
Why does Elizabeth have it? Elizabeth is in an asylum. Why does she have a dagger?
Was Elizabeth? Well, no. Elizabeth told Evelyn to give it to her.
Oh, okay.
And then she proceeds to climb over the fence, and that's when.
And just when she's about to climb over, the dagger cuts the rope.
Well, Evelyn cuts the rope.
Evelyn cuts the rope with the dagger, and so Elizabeth falls.
Listen, it's the rope in the billiard room. Kiss the Colonel Mustard. Yes, the fence scene. Terrible kill. Sucked. No.
That's a terrible kill. Come on.
There's
one good kill in this one. There's one good kill in this one. When somebody gets dragged.
Oh, that's the best.
That's a good kill.
And that's reminiscent. And we'll talk about that very soon.
So let's talk about this kill. This kill was not good. It was very anticlimactic. It wasn't good.
I thought it was pretty darn good for her to climb up, and she thinks
they could have made it so much more spectacular than that. It was boring.
The head's over the fence, and
blood's just pouring out. Blood's just pouring out.
Yeah, right through, like up underneath the throat, and everybody runs out of the asylum. I guess they know that she was running away and getting away, and they
great timing. When you were supposed to be keeping an eye on her, yeah.
Yeah. And throw her down on the ground. And they really don't show her actually die. Like, they don't show her actually go.
No, because when they came out and pulled her off, I thought I heard her like groan or.
Yes, she was groaning.
Okay.
Like, I thought, I was going, oh, she's going to live.
Yeah.
Elizabeth's going to be fine. She's going to be just fine.
So the person in the red cape runs away and drives off in what's her name's VW.
Well,
so then they make you think so then they make you think that it's Rosemary because we just saw Rosemary in her VW.
Oh, the car's confused. Listen, yeah, people getting in cars.
You never know who's in the car.
Yeah, and whose car is who. Listen, Evelyn was in a white Beetle,
which is the same as the one we had just seen a moment before that.
Yes. But this scene, she gets in what you just said. What did you just say?
She got away in what's her name's VW. And then we find out they read Martin's wife's will after she impaled herself on the fence. And we find out she left everything to the clinic. I kind of don't like Martin. It really seems like he's just trying to collect on somebody's will.
But the funny thing, that's why I never climbed those types of fences. Oh, me too. Burn his junk with a burning candle, says Joe. Okay. Somebody got killed by dragging. Yeah, we'll talk about it in a second, RTN.
And there was a lot of smoking in this movie, and I just thought that was so funny. Everybody was smoking so much. And I'm thinking to myself, who wants to sit next to you when you're blowing cigarette smoke in their face? But that was the time. It was everybody was smoking.
That was, listen, I think planes flew over Italy and France and all those countries, and they just dropped loads of cigarettes that lasted for decades. And it was an accident that it happened. But when it dropped off in Italy, in France, they rushed and they loaded up trucks and they hit them in bunkers.
And did they move to Beverly?
No, but everybody got 3 cartons of cigarettes for the next decade. It was part of not their welfare program, but the people would come for the bread, the cheese,
and the cigarettes.
They would always get a box of cigarettes, and it was because, listen, I don't know what company accidentally dropped these cigarettes. I know we can listen. It's
probably Parliament. Was it Parliament, or maybe it was Lucky Strikes?
It could have been, but yeah. What point were you getting to there? Continue on.
That this movie is dumb.
No, it's not. Listen,
He tells him that mental illness runs in the family, which I didn't really think about. Martin tells him.
The will, Elizabeth's will. The lawyer says, or the cop who told him about the will. He said, "Listen, yeah, the asylum was supposed to get it, to the hospital was supposed to get it, but because she was insane."
They just,
It all goes
how
to you.
about that? How about
It
that?
all goes to you because she was nuts.
That's a shame. She left that in her will, and he was like, yeah, but she was crazy. We're not gonna.
So you get it.
Yeah.
Zardos! What's
Hey,
going on?
Chris. Hi, Chris.
No problem there. Yeah, good to see you. Good
Chris, we don't want to hear about your intestinal issues tonight.
yeah, please.
Spare us.
Let's not talk about it right now. But anyways,
and then Kitty, Martin goes over to Kitty's house, or Kitty and Martin have a little love nest, and she admits to Martin that Evelyn is dead.
Did you anonymous? What the heck? Listen, Kitty. Let's take a moment to think of Kitty a second. Listen, we just did Near Dark, and Kitty. If she would have cut her hair a little bit shorter, the actress, she would have looked just like May. Don't you
know
think?
How much you like May? I'll have to think about it, Dino. I keep telling you, I'm not into chicks. I don't feel the same way that you do about chicks. So let me think about it.
No. Shoot.
Their eyes, I guess, their eyes were kind of similar.
She had a similar look as her. But anyways, so they go there, and what happens at their love nest?
She tells him that Evelyn's dead, and he didn't know. And then she has a dream, which you don't know if it's a dream or not. She has a dream that this Red Queen comes over to her, and I thought it was real, but it wasn't. It was a dream.
Oh,
and then this is
very psychedelic. Yeah. Trippy, man, trippy. Right, but yes, yes. That Peter comes. This is the scene where Peter comes, gets the money.
Peter's the weird guy.
After Martin leaves, Kitty's in her nice, beautiful, like negligee or robe type thing. She should have covered herself up for this stupid pervert to not. Oh. I know.
We're not going to talk about the fact that it doesn't matter what she was wearing.
It doesn't matter.
But you ladies, you know what I'm talking about. But proceed.
Well, hold on.
No.
I want to discuss this just for a second. If there's a serial killer or a nut job, and you know that this person's nuts, and Peter is showing signs of being a nut job, you don't let him through the door when you're wearing your clothes that you wore at night, showing your boobs and your body. This dude's a nut job. You do not want. Listen. I grew up in a big family. They never let the weirdo friend in that was like that, or I remember my aunts going and getting covered up. You can't do that. But anyways, okay. So point taken. It doesn't matter. She could be nude, and a sane person wouldn't do nothing. But a nut job. And Peter went nuts. He got the money from her because I'm going to say something. And then he looked at her leg and her body, and you could see that look in his face. He was just like, oh my God. And and it was very misogynistic for the director to put in the film. Was it necessary? Not at all. It did not need to be in there. Was it necessary for a horror, Giallo slasher type film? It's in a lot of these types of films back in the day, but I understand that just to put it in there for shock value probably isn't. He could have got away with not doing that.
And then she looks appropriately traumatized afterwards. She's crying and in the fetal position, rocking, and the mascara running down her face. But then you see her in the next scene and she's just fine.
Yeah, it didn't affect her evidently. Although there were scratches on her and stuff like right after, you could see that. But then the next day, she was totally fine.
So then this is the good scene.
Are we getting? It's 9:12. Let's start
getting to the good scene.
Okay, go on.
When somehow or other Peter, after he assaults.
Did you say somehow Rubber Peter? What?
No, I didn't say that.
It sounded like that. That was weird.
Well, I didn't. I don't know, but I didn't say that.
Yeah.
This is the best kill scene to me. This is the good kill scene. This is when she deliberately shuts his coat in the car and she starts driving and she drags him.
Yeah. So listen. So okay. So yeah, this kill scene, Peter gets it, and after that rape scene and all that to Kitty,
Yes.
he gets his due.
Yes, he does.
The red cloak.
And I love it how she knows she's dragging him and she swerves over to the curb. So it really gets him on the curb. I love it.
The visual of how he dies is so great. It's
great.
It's so perfect. She closes
it's the
door.
Best kill in the movie.
Yeah. Oh yeah, 100%. His coat gets stuck in the door, and she's driving, and she's going
and she's looking too to make sure. She's looking out the window to make sure.
and it. Yeah, and right to the curb, smashing his head and his body, and he gets left off. And it's reminiscent of a Dario Argento kill where a body gets stuck to the back of this truck, which is going and hitting curbs and everything else. And one of the best I've ever seen. And
what movie is that?
Ends up hitting a curb. I'm trying to think. It's either Deep Red or it's a
oh, I still haven't seen Deep Red yet.
I can't remember what film that was in. If Dave Plouffe was here, he would know. Dino's being naughty. Santa's put you on the list. J.O.B. I'm being naughty? Was I being naughty? I was being for one of the few times serious on a subject matter which can be debated, definitely. But listen.
So now somebody runs back to the castle, and all the lights are out, and they're all in the room there. It's Francesca and her stupid clubfoot husband and Kitty. And Kitty looks and she sees this red cloak go by. She sees this red cloak go by.
Okay.
And Francesca and the clubfoot guy look at each other, and like they know what's going on. And Kitty's like, I just saw that red cloak. I'm going to go down. I'll be right back. I'm going to go down. And I said, Francesca seems to know what's going on. Kitty goes to the cellar and she sees Evelyn. And then Francesca comes down.
No. She goes back down to the cellar.
Don't say no. I got my notes here. What do you got? What do you got? You got what's up here? I got notes. You didn't let me finish. See, you're jumping ahead of your mind.
Listen, you're talking about the end of the film when she goes down there.
No, I'm not.
Okay, so
she sees the red cloak and she goes down there.
Yes.
And then Francesca comes. And then I don't know what happened. So let's skip ahead of this. She shows Martin a picture of herself and Evelyn when they were little, and Evelyn's wearing that same necklace that the woman was wearing, and that's when Martin puts it together.
Rosemary on the being naked.
Rosemary. I didn't know if it was Rosemary or Lulu or I didn't know who it was.
She was showing the brooch.
And he touched it, and so he would remember it.
Yeah.
Yes.
She has notes. The pen is mightier than the memory. Oh, you better believe it.
He takes a gun.
Oh no.
And then somebody walks into a dressing room and there's all these long dark wigs and there's a red cape and there's pictures of Evelyn. And I'm like, what's going on?
Yes, they go to evidently there's this abandoned.
Who is it? Is it Rosemary now who dies? She gets shot in this scene. Is it Rosemary?
See, listen, you guys, you would understand if you watched the film. It's so confusing.
Because all the women look alike.
Is it Rosemary? Is it Lulu?
I think no. Lulu was the one that was in the back of the van and got stabbed.
But Rosemary is the one in the end who isn't she the one that?
So who is it?
So let's say Lulu. It's
okay,
Lulu.
I said Lulu. Maybe it was Lulu.
The one redhead.
Oh, because the other one was Leonora. The other one that got killed in the van was Leonora. This was Lulu.
There you go. Yes. So she goes to that. There's a bunch of houses that evidently are abandoned. And one of them has Evelyn's name on it. And that's where Herbert. Are you saying Martin?
Yes. Someone shoots her. Yeah.
Martin and Herbert both go there.
And they make you think that it's Martin because he picks up a gun before he leaves.
But if you notice, the gun he took out of the drawer was not the same gun that was
Correct. And the
dropped.
one that they used had a silencer on it.
Amen to that, sister.
Amen, brother.
Yes. That's called deducing is what it's called.
Deduction, yes.
Yes, of the facts, ma'am.
So someone calls, there's
facts,
a key
ma'am.
in her purse. Someone calls Kitty and tells her, there's a 4th key in your purse. And Kitty's like, no, I only have 3 keys. And she's like, no, there's 4 keys in your purse. Go look. And she picks it up and there's 4 keys.
Yes.
And she tells her to go to the Marktplatz. Marktplatz.
Yes. So in that
Germany.
so where Lulu is laying dead from being shot, we have Martin comes there, Herbert comes there, Martin leaves, but Kitty comes there too, right? Isn't that where? Yes.
And she goes to leave. She sees the dead body and she goes to leave, but the police are coming up the stairs at that moment.
Yes. So she escapes. Police come in. Herbert is still there.
So they arrest him because they think that
he's trying to get up the steps like this.
But we find out later that he was sent there.
Lulu from the Honeymooners episode, Norton Sleepwalking Dog. Lulu! Lulu! Nobody will get that unless you're a Honeymooners fan.
I know, because I'm not a big Honeymooners
Lulu! He wanted a dog, Ed Norton. Anyways, so Herbert gets caught by the police and
he gets locked up momentarily. And then Martin goes and
30 seconds later.
1 minute later.
1 minute later.
Martin goes and breaks into the lawyer's office. I think he unseals the will. Kitty's driving. Martin comes back home and Kitty's gone. We find out that Evelyn wasn't really the sister. This is when we find out that there was this exchange for some reason, that they exchanged Evelyn for Rosemary. And my comment was, how?
Yeah.
So then Kitty's back in the basement looking for...
The will stated everything. Yes. And
so then Kitty's back in the basement. She's looking for Francesca. And she goes and opens up that coat closet or whatever that they found her before. And out falls Evelyn with a dagger in her back.
So who is Evelyn? Who is Evelyn in this case?
It was
Rosemary. It's Rosemary, who's got the mask on.
Yes, and it looks really real. It looks so real.
And what does Rosemary say to Kitty? It's Francesca. It's Francesca.
Oh, did she? I didn't get that.
Well, that's a very important part because then the scene it goes to the scene up where Martin's come to the castle.
Francesca shuts her in the room, and which I knew at the beginning of the movie that somebody was going to get shut in that terrible room. And there's rats everywhere. And Francesca goes and turns the wheel.
Turns off. Yeah. Turns the water off.
And makes the water go into the cellar where Kitty is. She's like, I want all this money. I'm going to inherit all the money. She's
fun. She's a good time. She's a
great gal. She's the kind of person you would want next to you at a party.
She's a good time. So, so it's like a wheel, man.
And then she just leaves. I said she just leaves.
It's so hard to read sometimes. She just leaves. Yeah.
Like a Bond villain. Like, you know how Bond villains set up this elaborate thing and then they just leave and trust that it's going to happen. So she just left.
That's Mission Impossible. So yes,
so Martin comes and he sees Francesca in Kitty's car.
Yeah.
Martin comes and he sees Francesca in Kitty's car, and then what happens?
Well,
Kitty's trying to get away.
Martin goes, Francesca. That's
where is Kitty? Where is she?
In a dubbed voice. Francesca, where's Kitty? You must tell me. And drags her out, and she goes, hey, you're never gonna know, in a dubbed voice. And
we find out that Rosemary is really her sister, and Tobias, the grandfather, exchanged Evelyn and Rosemary to break the curse. And I said, too elaborate. This is too elaborate.
Marta says we need timestamps for the movie they are reviewing. Okay, so
it
when
won't
Francesca,
work. That's not how we do it. It won't work.
When Francesca gets out of the car, she's got the dagger and she plunges it into Martin. And
Yes, but
Martin
he's
goes,
fine. He's fine.
over dramatic though, very over dramatic. He goes,
Oh, she
ah,
got me.
she got me. And lo and behold,
We find out.
Herbert gets away from the police, and he's Francesca, and he shoots her several times.
Wait, Evelyn survived falling
Francesca
in the moat. This is when we find out what happened to Evelyn. She survived falling in the moat the year before, but Francesca wanted to be the only heir, so she slammed Evelyn's head on the stones at the moat like 10 times. It was very disturbing how many times she slammed that woman's head into those stones.
Oh yeah, it was very disturbing. But then again, flashback. Herbert, we're still at the scene at the end of the movie here, where Herbert shoots Francesca and kills her, and they go and they save
They
Kitty.
show poor Kitty with the rat water, and Francesca wants to make a deal with Martin. She offers Martin, like, this can be our little deal, like we'll inherit all the money. And Martin's like, no. So Herbert comes and hears her offering this deal to Martin, and she says some terrible things about her husband.
Yes, she does. And how does the film end?
So she sent him to find Lulu dead. Then Herbert shoots Francesca, and Francesca stabs Martin. She's already been shot, but Martin comes over to her.
What would we do without her
shot, and she stabs Martin.
Again? Yes. She does it again?
No, she doesn't. You had it out of time. So then the clubfoot guy, Herbert, goes down to rescue Kitty because Martin can't make it. He's like, I can't make it. She stabbed me in my arm, so I can't walk.
He does this very dramatic. It's so over the top.
So Herbert goes down to rescue Kitty, and Herbert ends up drowning. And did you love the way they showed Herbert's body in the water?
Just flat laying there.
Like a log.
He was pretty straight, is what he was.
He was stiff.
Are you sure?
So only Martin and Kitty survive, and they're in an ambulance at the end of the movie. Martin and Kitty are in an ambulance, and they're like, we made it, we survived. And then they play that groovy music, real happy, inappropriately upbeat music at the end of the movie as they're driving down this beautiful winding highway in the German countryside. I'm like, that music's
all this
not
terrible
really...
stuff happened, and now let's end on a happy note.
And they're like,
yeah. But listen, 4 out of 10.
4.
What?
4.
What is
4.
wrong?
And I almost gave it a 3, but I gave it a 4.
Holy Moses! Smell them roses. I can't
watch
believe
Dino give it like a 6. What did you give it, Dino? A 6?
No.
6.5.
I give this a 7.5 out of 10.
Are you kidding me? 7.5, Dino.
I love this film.
7.5.
Yes, I enjoyed it immensely. I loved everything about it. I loved the feel. Again, I could overlook.
No way.
Yes, this was very enjoyable.
Was there a moment to what, a good movie? 7.5. That's like
a good movie for me. I enjoyed it. It was a great watch. Was there a moment you watched this movie where you said, "Oh, is this going to be over yet?" Or did you enjoy it? Oh God,
I enjoyed it, but I showed you where I wrote that it's too elaborate.
Listen.
You said yourself that there was a bunch of confusing stuff. Let's talk about the stuff that you're confused about.
Well, no, it's okay.
No, let's talk about the stuff that you said was confusing. I want to hear it.
There are things that can be overlooked in the movie.
Now we're going to overlook it.
Well, the ending, the fact that, the killer ends up being who it is, and it's not Evelyn, and the whole point was that it was an easy way out for the writer and the director to make you guess throughout the whole film and make it seem like it could be anybody, and in the end you can decide who you want to be the killer.
It's like a choose your own adventure. It could be anybody. Who do you want it to be?
Yes. Hey, Freddie.
Is that how the game Clue works? Oh, Dave Clupé's not here. I've never played the game Clue. Is that how that game plays, where it's almost like a choose your own adventure, like if you choose this, this is what'll happen. If you choose this, this is what'll happen. No, okay.
When you play the board game, you got to pick out cards, the person,
and a weapon,
place, and a weapon, and you put it in a secret card, and then everybody rolls and tries to deduct where the deuce, the weapon, the person, and you kind of
that could change. It could change depending on who you know.
No, because the cards are already in the card.
It's already written in the cards.
Yes. So if somebody's got one of the, like, if you guess 3 things, somebody has a card they'll have to show you, and you mark it off, and then you eventually dwindle it down to, the rope's the only one left. Or if you're like me and you're really, really good and you only need 3 rolls around the board.
But then if that's the case and there's only one way, there's only one outcome, why would you need to play the game twice? Once you've played it, you know how it's going to play out. It doesn't vary depending on who did it, with what weapon, where. Because if that's the way it ends, why would you ever need to play the game twice?
Ginger, are you kidding me? Every single time you play the game, you shuffle the cards of the people. So it's a different person every time. It's a different weapon every time because you shuffle the deck.
Oh, okay.
And a different room.
Okay.
Oh boy. Zach Cato says, Dino, is it every Wednesday that you have the paranormal night? No, it's every Monday or Thursday, but this week.
And sometimes Tuesday.
Yeah, this week it's Tuesday, but it's always Thursday. You can count on that. Listen, they're all.
Julie said 7 out of 10. Really, Julie? Did you watch the movie, Julie?
Amen, Julie. Yes, she did, and she agrees with me because it's a good Giallo film. Gianna Snuka Polomagala. Okay, I ain't going for that one. I give it 2 Schrute bucks out of 10. Okay, so yes, nothing tomorrow night, but Tuesday night will be Paranormal Tonight with Michelle Ballinger.
And remind me again, who's Michelle Ballinger? Because the name sounds very familiar.
She's a psychic medium. She's an occult expert. She's written over 30 books. She's been on Paranormal
Have I seen her on your show before?
No.
Okay.
She's been on many shows such as Paranormal State, on the Travel Channel, many different shows. Going to be a good one. I give it a 8.5 listens, says RTN. Listen, man. Oh, I mean,
listen.
Hey, listen, overnight tonight, you guys, please give a thumbs up on the stream.
I think maybe Dino says listen a lot because I interrupt him so much. And he says, listen, like, shut up, don't interrupt me. I think maybe that has something. I mean, Connie gave it a 3.5. I was going to give it a 3.5, Connie.
I can't believe. Generous. I'm listen, I mean, see, now I can't say it. It's something I say all the time, and now I got to learn how to not say it.
Yeah, not say it.
Oh,
we all have different opinions, Dino. We're allowed to have different opinions.
I know.
You and I agree on a lot of movies. We like a lot of the same movies, but this one right here.
Oh, no, that's fine. Yeah, this is what it's all about. A discussion wouldn't be good. I give it a 3.5. Is this Connie Clary? Oh my heart just broke.
What I just said.
My heart just broke.
Oh, your heart didn't break.
My heart's broken. Oh, Jesus Christ.
And what movie are we doing next week?
Listen, first of all, listen. What?
Look, I only have like backwash. I don't have enough for
tonight, you guys. Oh, God, backwash. Tonight, we have a show I never streamed on the channel before. It's called Mr. Chameleon Detective. It's a very, very good show.
I know J.O.B. I never know when he's going to cut me off. I never know. I have to go back and look at the show.
It's that time of night again. Yepers. But please.
You need to tell me what movie we're doing next week.
Well, hopefully everybody enjoys Mr. Chameleon tonight.
Mr. Chameleon.
He is a detective, and it's very good. It's a very good show.
It's a very good show.
I hope everybody enjoys it. Mr. Chameleon.
Everybody like.
Everybody like. No, capucci, capace, catena.
Why do you know like it? You know like it.
You put a little whipped cream on there and make it taste good. Eat.
Just say she don't like it.
You know like it. You put some butter on it. You know like it. Listen, Tuesday Paranormal Tonight, Michelle Ballinger. The next movie we do on Wednesday is called it's another Giallo that you're gonna love.
Oh, when Evelyn comes from the grave?
No, it's The Strange Vice.
Oh,
of Mrs. Ward.
Yeah, whatever.
From 1971. Oh my God. And then we got The Crimes of the Black Cat coming up. Night Evelyn Came Out of the Grave, done by the same director. I can't wait for that.
Can we take a break from Giallo?
Then after that, the movie we are doing is a gothic horror from a new one called Pearl.
Pearl. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, that's going to be a good one.
What streaming platform might I find that movie on? Pearl?
Listen, that's down the road. Ask me then.
Tell me what streaming platform I can find it on. I like to plan ahead.
What's all the questions? Anyways, yes, a few times. Funny guys. Sweet, a new show. Sorry, Dino, sweet. Still love you anyways. No, I'm joking.
You don't have to apologize, Connie. You don't have to apologize.
Never. And hopefully everybody had sunglasses. If not, be prepared during this live stream for the Christmas tree.
I didn't even want the white tree. I wanted the green tree, but they sent me the white one.
Let there be light. So Ginger made it be. Faust casted the light from the shadows.
It blindeth me.
With science. Pearl. Oh, listen, this is going to be a good one. It stars, we'll talk about it more. I think that's going to be.
Why are you being so difficult? Just tell me where I can see it. Why are you being so difficult?
Because I don't have it in front of me. I'm not sure what platform it's on right now. How about this? It's on Amazon. What? How about that?
Then I'm going to have to bow out.
It might be on. Oh, you want me to do it all by myself? No,
listen. Do you want to do it by yourself? I don't care.
Listen, I'll send you the movie.
Peter said 2 out of 10 at best.
Peter, you're a little nutty. You've been drinking a little too much wine like Ginger.
Oh, now you need to stop. It's because you keep saying listen. And every time you say listen.
love you, Peter. Love you, Peter Wernicke. Anyways, is that it?